Good morning, everybody. We are live finally, 1 minute late. We're 1 minute late, but we've been evidently fighting with actual spirits this morning. Here we are with your master psychic, Lana Duncan Hartgrave, Metaphysical Meanderings, and today it's Akashic Records Explained, correct?
Yes.
Did I get that right?
You are right.
All right, Lana.
You spelled it right. You spelled it right there.
Yep. I will spell it. I'll put it up here on the banner and we'll get it spelled correctly.
Akashic.
So let's go get it. We're going to get it up on the banner here shortly. So
nope, you're good. You're good. You guys.
Here we are.
I'm on a different I'm on a different Facebook also for myself. I'm not my standard Facebook and not my my Enchanted Sky, just to see what we're gonna get on here. So hi guys, everybody. So we're a little late this morning. Now I have a lot of activity going on, and if you watched my video, I have a friend that was watching my video live on here on TikTok, and you can see orbs. Like, it's plain as day. You can see orbs, and we thought it was a car. We thought, well, we know there's kind of a window towards you on the back. The orb cut right across the wall. There's no way that could have been. I have a lot of orbs appearing in my pictures. Okay, I know who it is. It's my father-in-law. He's like, I have a lot of help, you guys, because you guys don't realize how much help I get. Because this has gotten to be huge for me. I combined total is about 1 million people. So it's getting really big. Hi, Michelle. So when you guys get on here, good morning. I don't know what to do. I just know that if you're watching my video on TikTok, and it's Lana's Enchanted Sky, and you were watching it from about 3 days ago, I kept going in and out, and it's not my connection. We determined that the connection was solid the whole time. It's picking up energy from somebody around me. And one of my really good friends said that she can see a shadow on the right of me the whole time. And then it moved, and it's not it was like almost like a human figure. So I'm going to go back and watch the video again. But you could see an orb go right across. Now, when I got sick and I had COVID, the day after Christmas, I had a broadcast from home. I knew I was coming down with something. I knew that. And you can see an orb sitting on my shoulder, and it literally went behind me, and it's blue-green, which is a very common color for orbs to be. There are a lot of times they're different colors. Sometimes I've seen red, sometimes I've seen green, and it has nothing to do with anger. It has to do on where they're at. Now, remember, blue-green is a healing color. So anyway, so what I'm going to do is cover Akashic Records, and if you guys didn't know why we're late is because everything just erased. And Pete heard it, I heard it, somebody laughed. So we've got something here. We all know it, right, Pete?
Yeah, I mean, we've got a studio. We affectionately call it the studio ghost.
Hi, Mel. The studio ghost. Yeah, he's an older guy, and I feel like he's somehow connected to the land.
Yeah, somehow. So I don't know if it's a building, the land, or something, but yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, go figure. So what I'm going to do today is the Akashic Records Explained, because you understand what the Akashic Records are, all of this. Now, at the end of this, I'm going to tell you I've changed up a little bit, okay? I am still doing readings, but I'm only doing about 5. If you are interested in a reading with me, and And God knows everything because it's the book of life, okay? All right. Um, Now, the Akashic Records are only for highly evolved people. Now, if you're in a process of an awakening and you start hearing like your subconscious talking to you, that's the development of your Akashic Records, you guys. So that you understand, we as human beings are really fast, quickly evolving. Okay? So just remember that you have the capability of hearing your own Akashic Records. Now, you can have somebody read them for you. I do read them. And people will be like, how do you know? And I'll say, well, because I see you're letting me read them. Now, I have met people who do not let me read their records because out of fear, out of like just different things. But usually it's fear. But they close them off to me and I can't. And there's been very few people, usually. Okay. Now, what do the Akashic Records do? Okay, so that you guys know. Okay, they show us your potential outcome. Okay, that's from dreams and visions. For me, I connect to your guides. I connect to your as a medium, and I'm going to tell you something about myself. If I can't connect to the person that you want to connect with when you call for a reading, I give you your money back. I do not give you your money back with the psychic reading, though. Do you understand why? Because a psychic reading is different. You have a free will. I can say, well, this is the way it's going. Now, if you change your mind, then see, I'm not. That's why I can never be 100% accurate. Okay? So that you understand. Okay? Hi, guys. I'm live on 216. I'm on YouTube again? Okay. Wow. Wow. You guys just don't even know. And I hear laughter. They think it's funny, but I know I know what's going on. I know it. And they already told me. So, yeah, they play with, you guys do know, pay attention. They play with your electronics a lot because people on the other side are pure energy. So, all right. So we're talking about the Akashic Records, okay? And the Akashic Records are every thought, every feeling. It's the book of life, okay? And it has to do with E equals MC squared. It has to do with energy, string theory, physics. And that's why I don't understand why some people who are into physics, why they wouldn't be into the Akashic Records. Because it's the same idea, okay? All right? Now, into this, we're going to be talking a little bit, what do they do, right? I'm getting back to that, okay? Sometimes things don't end up the way we think they should, and it has to do with the Akashic Records, because it's kind of like I explained time. I'm telling you, people who are psychic have the ability to use time. They understand time. They're understanding that they're able to go back and past, go present, and that's why they can read. So as people are evolving, we're learning that time is fluid, and we're getting more and more savvy about it. Okay, so now you guys might want to know how you're going to assess this, right? You can hear them. I'm telling you, can hear yourself talking to you. Okay. Now I know that when people have past life regression, I can ask them. Yeah, somebody said yes, they're messing with my electronics too, and it's so funny because I was just talking to somebody about this, by the way, that we are still in Mercury in retrograde, and they said no, it was supposed to end the 17th or 18th, and I said no, I was told it was supposed to end the 23rd. So maybe we are still in Mercury in retrograde. I argue because I've looked it up on planetary, because I'm into astrology. I looked it up. Half of everybody says it's supposed to end the 18th. Half of them say it's supposed to end the 23rd. Okay. Yes, I should have bought crystals. Somebody would just said to me, should you have brought some crystals? Crystals can clear energy. I should have brought my sage. Sage, now that you understand, sage actually has ions that help clear air and clear energy. People don't realize that, but there's truth to it. And a lot of these old wives' tales that people say aren't really wives' tales. There is something to it. Now, I'm well educated. I've got 2 master's degrees. I got part of a PhD. I think people think that, oh, this is corny, or this isn't true. This is wives' tales, blah, blah, blah. Live my life with me. I'm inviting you guys to live my life. This is very common for me. to, if you watched my show, my live show Wednesday night, and that's my mini podcast, by the way, you'll see my camera kept going in and out, but my internet connection was perfect. It's picking up energy because there's something around me, and supposedly behind me, because one of my good friends who's also a psychic said she could see it on the edge of me the whole time I was talking. Okay. So we didn't even get to do an introduction. It went down again. So I mean, that tells you something off of 216. Now I am live on 216 vocally, but not on live on camera.
Yeah,
so
you are.
I am on camera.
Now, yeah.
Okay, so we just have the screen down, because it's weird to me. I usually see
everything is up.
everything is up. Okay, except for the signal on here.
You can't see anything of that.
So they can see me.
Everybody can see
Okay.
you.
Okay.
Everybody
Okay.
can hear you. People
Okay.
are commenting.
Okay,
So,
good.
yeah,
Okay.
we're good.
All right, you guys. All right. Yeah, they're messing with us now. Exactly. You know, it just blew my mind, and sometimes it gets me a little, so. And by the way, after this today, I will be reading at a couple stores that are local here in the Chicago area. I'm going to Howling at the Moon in Elkhorn, and next weekend I'm doing a Halloween stint at one of my good friends. It's at the Optimistic in Evansville, Wisconsin, little towns, but they're a lot of fun. So thought about having some people over and maybe having one year I had a bonfire at my house, and I just did word of mouth on here, and about 35 people showed up. And we had a bunch of psychics, and a couple of people were doing readings, some music. We had a bonfire. It was a lot of fun. So I'm thinking about it, but gosh, I'm so busy. Anyway, back to the Akashic Records. So your Akashic Records, I can access them. Some people are learning how. Now, I know you can take classes. I'm going to be offering a way to do it, because there's just, if you just do some deep meditation and you listen, sometimes you hear. Now, I'm an auditory learner, so yeah. So what I do is I ask nicely and do a deep meditation, and they open them up for me. Okay, so see, I don't even have. Okay. Wow. All right. This is crazy. I'm seeing. Hi, Jen. Hi, Ann. Yeah, the broadcast keeps cutting out. Yes, I know. It's playing with us. They're playing with me, and I know that. So, yeah. Anyway, back to this. It's crazy. It's crazy, but it's part of my life. So I'm telling you, I would say about half of my videos on YouTube have an orb in them. So if you're watching, you'll see one just go right behind me. I've got a couple of orbs that I taped. I think it's my father-in-law. I think it's also a guide. I want to say it's an angel, because there's one video that's on my YouTube. I will be downloading onto my website. I just haven't done it yet. It flitters like this, like it's got wings, and it's about that big, and it's just interesting. So get back to this. All right, so there's ways the way we do the Akashic Records. There we go. We're back up, you guys. I can see myself, and it helps when I can. It just because I couldn't read anything. Hey, hi Michelle, you guys. Hi Christian. Yes, it's called the shadow period. It's 2 weeks before and 2 weeks after the retrograde. Yes, Christian, you are correct. We usually don't have too many problems. Every once in a while after the retrograde's over, maybe 2 to 3 days is what I have found. But we just came back up. So hi Leah, Talicia Woods. Hey guys, I'm telling you. Yeah. So anyway, we're back. Okay. After 20 minutes, it's a very normal, but I heard somebody laugh. Okay. Michelle says, I'm a psychic and I'm having the most difficult time assessing the Akashic Records. Michelle, you probably are and don't realize it. Because a lot of times, Michelle, I do have a lot of psychics that follow me because I'm a master psychic and I'm guiding a lot of you guys with your businesses and stuff. So that's why if you guys ever see where I am talking about other psychics online or I'm featuring them on my podcast, it's to help them with their businesses. I'm never jealous. That's not what it's about. So, okay. So There we go. Everybody should be back now. I'm hoping. Okay. It's just crazy. All right. So that just threw everything out for a loop. So anyway, back to the Akashic Records. I know some people think that you might not be assessing them, but I bet you, I can't even say it. Accessing them, big difference. Um, but I'm telling you that you are. Okay, you just might not even realize it. Now, this is a way to connect yourself to them. You can do meditation. Sometimes they're dreams. They come to you in dreams. You ever had a dream that's so vivid and it's like set in the past, or it's a recurring dream? When I was a kid, do you, Pete?
Yeah, I've had recurring dreams
have
like
you
a
had
lot,
recurring a lot?
especially when I was younger.
Did you? Is it
Yeah.
like from like it seems like it's you, but it's not.
No, it was a very specific kind of dream. It was very weird.
Okay.
But yeah.
Well, I've had dreams about tornadoes when I was a kid. And when I was a child, when I was 3 or 4 years old, I used to I would shake if they even said there was a tornado watch. And I had some past life regression, and I realized that I died in a tornado. And I was holding onto a tree. I was a man who had built a house in Nebraska and was going to send for my family, and I died in a tornado. And I was mad because I wasn't mad that I died. I was mad that I had worked so hard to build that house and build that life with a family. I have a very deep connection about my house now. Always wondered what it was like. I get very nervous when I have anybody threatening if I lost my house. Like I couldn't make my house payment, or like that. Yeah. And that's got to be where it's coming from. And now that I've realized and I've let go of that Akashic record, because I've had past life regression, I'm okay with tornadoes. Matter of fact, I stand out there and watch because I'm like, because my soul has told me you're not going to die again from a tornado, so let go of it. See, that's what the Akashic records do. You're holding on to energy from other lifetimes, and being able to access them helps you let go of stuff that isn't going to happen or has already happened because you're holding on to it emotionally. Okay. I've got a guy on TikTok who is broad. I've seen my guide holding my scroll. I wanted to read it, but he only let me glance at it. That is okay. You can't. It's hard to read your own Akashic records. That's why sometimes you have somebody doing it for you. The same thing is you shouldn't write a read for yourself. You can't. You just can't do it. Now everybody's like, well, why? Why is because if you could do everything that you are doing, and you could see your whole life, would you experience all the crap you've got to go through that you planned for yourself? No, you'd avoid it, right? That's common sense. That's being a human. That's why God blocks us. Okay? Same thing. Sometimes they might be blocking you from seeing. I know something big's coming. I know it. I don't understand. I know I'm getting ready to retire, but it's bigger than that. Now I'm trying to do a health center. I'm trying to expand this. And I see it just enough not for my own good. I know it's there, and whenever anybody does a reading, I get the priestess. The high priestess card in a tarot card is that something's hidden. And I also, the moon is there's something's hidden. And they don't want to tell me. And every time I read, I get a reading from anybody, they say the same thing. They're like, oh yeah, something's hidden. Something's hidden. Yep. So, now, life would be easy, right, if we already knew our complete future. And sometimes they hold information. They withhold it back from us so that you know that's why, like, if things are supposed to happen, I always tell people when they do my readings, so if you do a reading with me, you have my undivided attention. Like I said, I'm a medium. You'll be talking. I connect first to your loved ones, guides, whoever. Yesterday, I connected to a woman's, like, whole family. She's like, oh, my God, it's the anniversary. And I told her. And I even got the name right. And then I said, there's a Native American guy standing there. Is he your guide? It must be. And she says, yes, I live in the Pacific Northwest, and I live on sacred soil. And I said, well, he's there. So you never know who you're going to get with me. I also get angels. Like the angels will come through. I'll say, oh, you've been praying to angels, right? Because I can feel them, and I see like the edges of wings or something. And I see something flap like, and I'll be like, oh, yeah, there's an angel. So, and remember, angels don't look like that really. But we think they do, so they appear how we think they should look. They really are kind of scary looking, supposedly. So if you read it biblically, they are. Okay? So back to Akashic Records, you guys, because it's metaphysical meanderings. I meander. So this is the way I teach at school, though. This is like the kids will get me off subject sometime, but they learn. You guys are learning from me. So, and if you ever wonder why I teach really, really simply, it's because I've been teaching 4th through 8th graders for the last 30 years. So I break everything down like I would for about a 9 or 10-year-old. So I don't mean to be downplaying you like you're not intelligent. It's just I'm used to doing that. So, all right. So okay, this is how you can connect to that Akashic record better. Now, you have to go into a meditation. You can do all that kind of stuff. But first, you need to avoid yes or no questions. Now, yes or no questions are coming from yourself as a human being. Because remember, you're accessing, you're accessing something that's beyond you. Okay? That's the best way to say it. Okay? You're bigger than this. You're just in this shell. Okay? So, have you ever got yes or no questions, Pete?
Not really. I mean, my wife and I, through my wife, you know about the dolls that we have.
Yes, the dolls that are here.
We were actually having a relatively deep, extensive conversation with the 4 of them last night. Mm-hmm. And it was a little draining, but for me, but they were not just yes, no. It wasn't anything like that.
Yes. Michelle Cook says, and she's right. We're not in control. Okay, that we're supposed to know ahead of time. We're not supposed to know ahead of time. Well, we do to a certain extent, because the only time that I have found that when I'm doing a reading for you is that where if you're supposed to know, I can tell you. If you're not supposed to know something, I won't tell you. It's that simple. And sometimes they want to surprise us. Sometimes it's destiny also, and that they don't want you to know because it's destiny and there's nothing you're going to do about it. All right? What did...
Yeah, Dawn says...
Oh, Dawn. Okay.
Yeah, Dawn Jennings says, I had a very big yes and no last night. They played with my phones.
See, they were playing with her phones too. Now, Dawn is Dawn Jennings is... Hi, Dawn. She's also been kind of like my assistant a little bit. So what she's getting is messages for me through her. Yeah, Dawn said her son even heard them. I'm telling you, there's a lot of stuff going on. Now, doing with this Akashic Records right now, we just went direct with 4 major planets. Now, astrologically, we've got Neptune, Uranus, Saturn, and Pluto going direct. There is so much energy out there right now. By the way, if you're going to do some manifestation, you better do it now. And for the next still about 4 months to 5 months, it'll last into 2022, but it's really super heavy right now. And if everybody appears lucky, like great things are happening, as you're manifesting it, you don't even realize it. So that's why this is a good time to kind of try to access your Akashic Records. So try to access them, or try to get to them. Okay. So avoid yes or no questions with them, because you have to understand that the Akashic Records are not black and white, they're shades of gray. Okay? You can't get a yes or no because there's just so much involved with it.
That makes a lot of sense, because when we were talking with the dolls and my wife would ask what would be a yes or no question, the response was, well, it's if this, then this, if that, then that. It's not just, everything is not black and white. It just isn't.
Yes. Connection is freezing, like last week. I'm having some freezing yet in my phone yet. So, yeah. It's frustrating. Anyway, that's because there's so much energy in here. So if they're still freezing a little bit, and I'm not doing readings yet. I do readings in about 10 minutes. Then, and I'm only picking 5 people. So if you guys are interested on TikTok or on Facebook, what you need to do is either PM me or Cash App me, and I'll answer a question. I'm only picking 5 people now. Okay? So... And if you think about it, it's so much cheaper to get me for a whole half an hour, because I usually have so much to tell you that then you go back and you go, oh yeah, one question for $20. I don't know. That's what you guys want to do.
Well, I
Anyway.
tell you, I called Lana. Oh, I'm sorry. I'll get your
okay.
name here. I've been doing that ever since I've known you.
I know you have. It's
I
okay.
I want so desperately to call
Lana
you.
as in banana.
Yeah, Lana as in banana. There we go.
Yes.
But I actually my wife did an hour session with you, I believe, and I did a
Yes.
half-hour session. People, it was very well worth it. I will tell you that
You.
Lana as in banana, hit some things that there's no way she could have possibly known.
Yeah, he
like,
just told me
seriously.
that I was tapping into his uncle. Now, when I'm doing readings, and he didn't even know. Now, when I'm doing readings for you guys, I sometimes will get a middle name because they'll say like their name is like Robert James, and I'll say, well, who's James? Because they're breaking a barrier of a dimensional nature. I will hear they will say their whole they'll say their whole first and middle name, and I'll get just the middle name. So sometimes if you guys will have to figure it out, but this is the one time that I say that I am very confident is I don't miss with mediumship. And I don't know who these people are. I don't know who these people. I get that a lot, and I'll be like, they're your people. You might now. Some people say, well, then they find out they're great grandparents. Well, I never knew them. Yes, you do. Yes, you do know them. Because if they were dead before I was born, well, then they were in heaven with you, and you know who they are. You don't remember. Remember, we're blocked by the age of 3 or 4. Now, if you're ask a 3-year-old. Seriously, ask a 3-year-old. 3-year-olds will tell you who they are and why they came.
My mom said that when I was little, I used to say, well, when I was a big man and drove a big black car,
Oh,
I would talk about that all the
Really?
time.
Uh-huh.
And I have a very distinct memory of, because I was 3 when my brother was born,
Uh-huh.
and there were ladies standing around his bassinet that evidently weren't actually there, but I saw them, and then they were talking to my brother, and I got yelled at by them, saying, do not speak until you're spoken to. I was very angry, went and got my mom. There were no ladies there. I was like 3. So, yeah.
Yeah. So
But
I got a couple of people that are saying odd things on here, and I'm gonna tell everybody right now that if I've got something that's just like not good, they're blocked. I just blocked some people.
Are you
So,
over on your TikTok
on my
there?
TikTok? Yes.
Yeah, we're
If you're
very
gonna be
we're very
inappropriate, if you're gonna do something that you shouldn't be doing, I blocked you, and
Yeah.
that's the way it is. And I'm here to help people, but I'm not here to listen to your nonsense. What I do is real. If you do not believe me, I invite you to make an appointment.
do
Because
it.
if I can't, now I don't, as a psychic, I don't guarantee my readings. I can't. But I am telling you right now that as a medium, if I cannot connect to the person you're looking for, I'll give you your money back. Now, the other day I couldn't connect with a woman's, her mother just died, like maybe 6 weeks ago. Sometimes, if they've had a very painful death, those things where the chamber where there's nothing there, and it's water, and they
the
close it?
deprivation
Yeah,
chambers.
deprivation chamber. That's what they do on the other side, trying to get rid of the negative energy from being here on this planet. And so sometimes you don't hear from them for 6 weeks, 8 weeks. My dad, my own father, I didn't hear for 3 months. And then one night I had a dream, and then my daughter had the exact same dream, and he was fishing. And I know that it's true. And she didn't mind, because you know what? I got like 5 of her other relatives. And they told me that she's coming shortly. They kept saying that. Okay. All right. So let's go.
Dawn says, by the
Okay.
way, and I don't know if you can see that from there.
Okay. Yes, I can.
She says, I don't know if it's the lighting, but someone was behind you.
So see, my friend Dawn is also my assistant, and she's a psychic too. So you can hit her up. Dawn, what's your website? I can't remember. I know she had a website going. So
Yeah, she can put it up there. That's fine.
yeah, see, she says there's somebody behind me. I'm telling you, there's people here. And if you're watching, and you're watching closely, I'm not making this up. You will see them on the cameras. You will see shadows.
We've
You'll
actually
also
had
see
pictures.
like a kind of like an energy field sometimes. Okay, and that's why sometimes this goes in and out.
Yeah, we've actually had
okay.
pictures of our studio ghost here before.
Yes, I can connect with past pets, and I'm going to in a few minutes. Let me finish my Akashic record thing. Okay, so we're avoiding. So back to Akashic records. We're avoiding the yes or no questions, realizing that you can do this, but you allow other people to open them. And I know that Edgar Casey would say that the records are now open. So when you're doing past life regression, you can tell me, yes, yes, they're open. You can also tell me about yourself, and you can tell me your higher self, which is you're accessing those records and your soul. And you can say, when I ask somebody under past life regression, what does your higher self want to say? That's who we're talking about. Okay? So, this is some of the other things. Now, you can ask loved ones and mentors, teachers, and they can help you. Like a mentor sometimes will say something out of the clear blue because they're being led to. That has to do with the Akashic Records. Okay? So, you can ask if you want to access these better. And the reason that I kind of stutter a little, I got my braces in. Anyway, so you can do this also for yourself, but if you are having trouble, because I had a couple hard time accessing them, you can have some training done if you want through a master. I haven't gotten this far yet. I'm going to be probably offering classes. You have to remember, I'm working a full-time job, doing this full-time. I'm running a farm. You name it, I'm doing it. Anyway, I'm going to be doing this. Ask somebody to help. It's that simple. And they can help you, and they can also help align you so that you have access to them as needed. Okay? Okay. Christian says, thanks. I'm actually Pete, the other station owner. Yeah, you guys, your voices in a way sort of sound alike a little bit on the radio. So so Pete's doing this for me now. So another way you can access them is ask God when you go to sleep. If you can give me information in my dreams. Now, when I'm doing my predictions for you guys, all right, you need to ask before you go to sleep, and then wake up, put a notebook, or I put my note pen because my note writes, and I start accessing, and I say, please give me information in my sleep. And sometimes I wake up, I'm almost asleep, but it's at that funny time where you're half awake, half asleep, and I start writing. And that's where I'm getting all my predictions from, you guys. That's literally, and I'd have to show you my phone because it scrolls all tons and tons of predictions, which I will be coming back in a couple of months. I do them every couple of months because I get so many. All right. Another way you can access them is going into meditation with music. Music has a very calming, soothing, meditative ability to help you get into your Akashic Records. Find which one works for you. Okay? All right? Music, try it. It does. I have found that sometimes if I'm doing a certain, and I like a certain frequency. I'm having trouble with my braces. I shouldn't have my braces in. Anyway, try it that way. Now, here's the last ways is vegan. Now, I am not a vegan, I admit it, but when I am doing readings, like I have not eaten yet today. I do not eat of the day I'm reading for people. And I probably will be doing, hi, Dr. Victor. I probably won't eat until after I've read. It keeps me clearer, okay? I think because your body is trying to process food, and that's taking away energy. So I make sure and I don't drink, I don't smoke, I don't do anything, no caffeine, nothing before I read. And it makes things clearer. So try that too, okay? So some questions to ask really fast. These are some questions you can ask yourself, okay? What do you do with the info is your business. So questions to ask. Why am I here right now? What do I need to learn about my situation? And you will get answers. Trust me. If you're not hearing it, you might see it. They might be leaving things for you. I know that sounds crazy, but like idiosyncrasies, okay, that happen. You're like, whoa, yeah, okay. What possibilities are opening up to me? Okay, so what possibilities are opening up that are going to help me expand? How do I expand myself? You be asking these questions when you do your meditation. Listen or watch, or you might be able to get it in here, or even feel it because it's transcendence. Okay, sometimes you can hear me say, well, it feels like. Okay, how do I expand myself? What is my truth today? Okay, what is my truth today, and what do I need to do to live my truth? That's what I'm doing right now, because you guys know that I am a teacher. I'm a middle school art teacher for the last 30 years. I turn 55 in December. I'm retiring, and everybody's begging me not to. I have to live my truth for the first time. I'm putting myself first. I've always given to everybody. I've always been helpful, and I love everybody. But this is the first time that I think that this is it. And I feel bad for my school because I'm afraid they're going to be in the lurch. But I got to take care of me, and I've been very open with my school district. So, 30 years is enough, guys, right? But I've learned how to manage humans because I got 650 to 750 kids a week. And I have this year, knock on wood, I gotta find wood, I'm not having too many behavior problems because I've learned. I used to be a BD teacher too. I don't know if you have behavioral disorders and emotional disorders. And I used to run a classroom of about 20 of them. And I did it for about 7 to 8 years before I started art. So I've learned. I always say, yes, it's a gift, but it's also learned. People's skills are a gift, but they're also learned over time. So now back to it. How can you expand yourself? What's your truth today? What are you scared of? Ask yourself in a meditative state what you are scared of. You will get your answer. Matter of fact, I bet you know. You might not want to admit it to yourself in this life right now. All right? But I'm telling you. All right? I'm telling you. It's true. You'll know what you're scared of. I know what I'm scared of. I know. Everybody's got fears. And they could be coming from a past life, by the way. That's why when you're accessing the Akashic Records, you can't lie to yourself. Because sometimes we as human beings want to lie to ourselves. You can't when you're doing the Akashic Records. So, okay. What's missing? What is missing? With me, my downtime is missing. I know exactly right now what's missing. I need more downtime. I'm an artist. I love to paint and draw. I like to just lay on the ground sometimes. I don't get enough downtime right now. And I know that's missing. And I need that because it's good for my mind and my business in general. So that's why I've decided to retire. Okay? What do you need to release? What do you need to release? It may be even from this lifetime. What do you need to get rid of? These are the things you ask yourself when you're in a deep meditative state. You're going to get your answers. Okay? And what is holding you back? Something's holding you back. Sometimes it's fear. You'll get your answer. Okay? With that said, this is how we're doing this now. Everybody can start asking questions. All right? And I've got maybe 4 to 5 people I'm answering. If you would like to on TikTok, cash at me. Not only you get an answer on here, you'll get an email also. So make sure you go. You can look. You can pull down. You can scroll down, and you guys can do that. And anybody else, make an appointment with me. I feel it's worth it. Pete says it's worth it. I concentrate on just you. Okay. All right. Yeah. Christian says Sagittarius life lesson is how to learn to be in the present. Is absolutely right. Okay. So here we go. All right. We've got a question. Go ahead, Pete. What's that say? I can't read them always.
No worries, I got it. Jackie Fraser says, "Hi, Lana. I've won lottery money twice this week and was one number away from winning the jackpot both times. Do you see me hitting the jackpot on that particular lotto game I played? Just curious."
No, play a different game, Jackie. See how I said everybody's really lucky? People are winning, especially right now if you're a Sagittarius. Sagittariuses are very lucky in general, and it's really not luck. It's really the other side helping us out. But we appear lucky. And right now with all of those planets in direct, they've gone direct, okay, means that play the lotto. I've had a dream repeatedly about myself that something's going on with me and there's some type of money coming. Now, I know that I'm retiring and yes, there's money coming, but that's different. There's something else, and I know that my money's coming from my healing center. And if you guys don't know about my healing center, it's on GoFundMe, and it says Lana Duncan Hargraves, and it's under me. I'm trying to make a healing center. In the place that I live, I thought about making it in other places, and it's so needed where I'm at. So my ultimate, if I had my dreams, what I'd be doing would also be having equine therapy with my horses. And that's the ideal place. I just got to go start small and get bigger. So, okay. Can you connect to past pets? Yes, I do. Oh, you're still grieving the loss of over 5 years later. Tony Jean on TikTok. Was it a dog, and was it a little bit bigger dog and dark colored? Because there's a dog there. I can see a dog. Okay. And get back to me and tell me if that's true. Okay. So go ahead.
Okay. We've got Mel Caponen. Will my daughter Jenny get a job before the end of this year?
Mel?
May or May? Oh, it's an I. May. My or May?
My or May.
My or
okay.
May.
Well, your dog before the end of this year. No, at the very beginning of the next. Okay? Because she got offered a job. She isn't going to take it. She's going to get something else. Okay? You've never had a dream about sometimes they don't come to you in dreams. I had somebody say, I never had a dream of my dad or my stepdad. And that's kind of the way it is. Now, go ahead, Pete.
Okay.
I have a lot.
We've got
a million people on here, you guys. So
okay, we've got
right now,
Brenda Wilson.
Okay.
Brenda asked, will this move next week be successful in finding love?
Yes, but don't be patient. It's going to take a little while. It's going to be like a year and a half at least. But yes, eventually, yes, it will. Now, this is my advice about love. Don't look. And that's when it falls in your lap. It's almost like, yeah.
I gave up. I put money down on a place on Pikes Peak in Colorado.
Yeah.
2 weeks later, I met my wife.
See?
And we've been together now for 30
look.
years.
Don't look. Yep. Don't look. I know that when I found my husband, I just come out of a horrible, I just had man, they were just abusive, man. Like emotionally and stuff. And then I wasn't looking, and then I met my husband. So, yeah.
And
so anyway.
You have
right,
Louise Trill says, any messages from my mom, Christine?
Did she have light-colored hair? Louise, did she have kind of a blonde hair? And it's either blonde or gray, but it's kind of short and it's a little longer in the back. Get back to me and tell me, because that's who's coming through, I believe. Okay.
Do you have more over there, or do you want one from here?
I'm going right here.
Okay.
I started feeling sick, pains in my stomach, and dizzy. Okay. Okay, Heather, you might be going through an awakening. Oh, I feel like it's something to do with the spirit behind you. You know what? Heather just said that she feels like there's something behind me. There is. I know there's there. But I want to tell you that that's healing, and you're probably going through an awakening, especially if you can pick that up. Okay? Seriously. Okay? All right. I'm an empath and a hypnotherapist. Do you know if I have any other abilities? Yes, you have the ability to heal. You're a healer also. Like physical healer. Like, I don't know if you're trained in Reiki, but you need to be. Okay? So, a couple more questions.
We've got Christian Goshnauer. And Christian, I hope I'm saying your name, Christian, Goshnauer, correctly.
Christian's one of my followers.
Okay. And she says, I applied to a job with Hyatt. Not sure if it's worth my time. On the fence.
It's not. It's not worth your time. You have something better coming. But it's around February. So if you had to take that job for now, do it. But, yeah. Okay.
And then Dawn Jennings says, who threw the container at me last night?
Dawn has, okay. So anybody that's around me has more increased activity, I guess you could say. Because what happens is when you are associated with other people that are of light consciousness, it increases the intensity. And she said somebody threw a container at her last night. I believe it. They're trying to wake you up, Dawn. You know that you know what I'm talking about. You'll be talking to me after the show anyway. You know what I'm talking about. Okay, light brown. Okay, Louise Trill. Her mother has light brown short hair. Who has the longer hair? Is that a grandma? There's somebody coming through, and they would cut it a little shorter in here and a little longer in the back. I don't know who it is. I feel like they weren't really super old when they died, or they just looked younger. I would say 60s, maybe 70s. They're coming through, and they're telling me to tell you that you need to do it. Whatever that means, you know what that means. I think you're thinking about something, but they're telling me to tell you that. Now you see how this works sometimes? Okay. Good morning. It also blocks out other noises. Yes, and you know what? Oh, How to connect with me for a reading? I just got go to my bio. It's at Enchanted Sky. You can also send me here. I usually end up with some people off of Cash App, some people $20 if you want here. But if you want, I'm doing lives too. Make an appointment. I still say it's well worth your money.
And you've got Wendy Munson here who says, will I have any increase in income?
Slightly, not much. Coming into next year. Now, you guys do know that this is a 5-year, right? This is a 5-year. So that's all about change. So think about all the changes you've been through. It's a huge year. Now, a 4 was 2020, because you add it together, it's a 4. Is you're creating your own karma. Now, when you create your own karma, I had somebody ask me, what does that mean? What you're doing, you're getting back. So if you're putting out positive energy, you're getting positive energy back. Whatever you created makes the change into the 5. Now, the 5 becomes in about 2 months becomes a 6. The 6 is all about you, your home, and your family. Being happy. Okay? Creating your own happiness, basically. Okay? Christian says, what does that say? I can't.
She says, thanks, Lana. Good to know. I'll stop overthinking it. Awesome pronunciation, Pete. Super impressed. Thank you, Christian.
You also can join my Patreon. Now, I know Christian's on my Patreon. I think it's the same Christian. Yes, I think it is. Now, if you guys are on my Patreon, I only got like 4 more spaces right now because I don't want too many people. But if you join it, you're getting hypnotherapy, and it's anxiety reduction. I'm going to be offering classes. I'm getting to that. You're getting 15 minutes or 30-minute reading like once every so many months. So you'll end up getting more than you're paying for. So check me out on Patreon and just put under, I think it's under Enchanted Sky, Lana's Enchanted Sky. So if you guys are interested in that, you can do that too. Okay? And those are my people. I will always take their questions first. And I have them all on speed dial. So, and there's been times when I have picked up, I've picked up messages for them, and I call them and say, hey, you're supposed to, okay? So, all right. Now, you're going to be 65 in December. When, Bonnie? Because I'm in December 19th. I'm going to be 55. So, did I ever tell you guys the story that I looked up? There's another Lana Duncan. That's my birth name, and that's Heart Grace Pipe. There's another Lana Duncan born on my birthday and 10 years older than me, and she's a psychic too in the UK. Go figure, right?
What's cool, I thought, is that Lana is 55 in December. I'm 55 in December.
Oh, that's right.
And we both did what are those, the life number things?
Yes.
You said, and we both have exactly the same number.
Yep. I'm an 8. You're an 8.
Yep.
Right?
We're 8s.
Yeah, we're 8s, which means we're very powerful, and we don't even realize we've got so much power. I know I accidentally make people feel threatened sometimes because I just give off so much energy. Well, are you like a motor too? You can't stop. It's a Sag thing.
I go December 28th.
That's right. You're a Cap.
Yeah,
right,
I'm Cap.
Yeah.
I'm a early. Yeah, you're a cusp. Okay. I'm a Cap. But I go nonstop. Yeah. I go but I crash hard.
Do you know your moon and your rising?
I do not.
Okay, look it up. You guys always look those up. They're very important. They're important to me too, because your moon is your emotional side and how you are emotionally. Your sun is what you are, and your rising is how you appear to people. Now, I appear to people as a Capricorn because I'm a Capricorn rising, I'm a Capricorn cusp, and I'm a Pisces moon. And a Pisces moon, we have a tendency to be taken advantage of, because we just try to be like help everybody. Yeah, it's our bad thing. Yeah. Anyway.
Well, you got probably time for just this one last question. You've got Nikki Peterson. Hi, Lana. My little Sagittarius sister is patiently waiting for a love. Do you know how much longer she will need to wait? Her name is Courtney.
I want to say 9 months. Like I said, Nikki, don't be looking. Work on yourself, and love will find you. Now, I want to tell you something else about this love thing. I do love readings all the time for people, but I really, really think that if you're working on you, it'll find you. And maybe you weren't meant to in this lifetime. See, we in our society, we know we don't have to be with anybody. We are connected to God. But here in this society, it's like we're pressured to be with somebody. And we don't necessarily have to be with anybody. So, and maybe you planned that into your chart. But I will tell you that I do look at about 6 to 9 months at the most. Okay. Oh, Wendy says.
That's actually my mother.
Is that your
She
mother?
says,
Okay.
yeah, Peter has Leo. I don't know if that means moon, and I don't know what that means.
Huge. If you're a rising or a moon, that's why you go all the time. Capricorns are the business people of the zodiac, and Leo is a fire sign like me. So Kent's also a Leo. It's Cancer Leo cusp, and if you're a Leo, we get along really well. So because Leo and Sagittarius, because
could
we're both
explain
fire
why I
signs,
like you.
we get it. No, we're just going, go.
Yeah.
So, and you're also very home-based, very family-oriented. That has to do with a Leo. Very protective of your family and your space.
Yeah.
And that is a Leo.
Okay.
And you think of the lion on The Wizard of Oz, typical Leo. Like, he's all like, I'm so, but you're like a soft, mushy mess inside. But you're like, I got this, but you're really not. No offense. Okay?
Sometimes that's true. So, yeah. And we're down to just less than a minute. Lana, how do they get you? How do they get a hold of you?
EnchantedSky.com. Okay? If you want to do a medium reading, I have 15 minutes. You can ask any questions for 15 minutes. That is $35. Go into EnchantedSky.com, hit services. Then you can also hit me up for 60. It gets cheaper as you go. So it goes to a half an hour to 65. And if you've never talked to me before, I'm not trying to, like, if you don't want to, you don't have to. But I can tell you a lot of information for a whole hour. And then after that, most people do 15 or half an hour for 90. So, and it's a whole hour of just you. And if you think about it, 60 minutes, that's not even $2 a minute, you guys. If you go to these psychic lines that I belong to, or that I'm mad at right now, I'm not even going to say who it is. Anyway, there's somebody on there that's $50 a minute. And I'm sorry, who in the heck do you think you are? $50 a minute? Who do you think? You think you're any accurate than anybody else? I just feel that they're taking advantage.
That seems nuts. And I will say, I spent the money on Lana myself for 30 minutes. My wife spent the money on Lana herself for an hour. It was well worth it. And we really appreciated everything she had to say. Folks, that's going to wrap us up today. Thank you so much for tuning in to this amazingly weird episode starting off. The first one I'm producing for, going forward here. But here you go. You've had an amazing episode of Metaphysical Meanderings with Lana Duncan Hartgraves. We'll be back again next week. So long.
I had a